How are you today, man?
Hey, Anthony, I'm hanging in there.
Hanging in.
Sun
Well,
came out.
yeah, that's right. That's true. Well, I want to ask you, just first off, I mean, 9 games in, what are some areas you want to see this team start to clean up a little bit as you kind of move forward now?
Well, the free passes, the walks can put you in trouble, especially if you're playing close games. If you're not going to score 8, 9, 10 runs a game,
Yeah.
and I don't think our offense is built to, be a juggernaut offense. So we're going to have to play a little cleaner, and that just means no free passes, and that's cutting down your walks and your hit by pitches and wild pitches and those things. And when you're in a close game, those things kind of stand out. So offensively, I need to see our hitters have better at bats more consistently, and on the mound, we just need to challenge more hitters and let our defense make plays.
I mean, we talk about challenging here. Is that something with the freshmen that they're just having to adjust to pitching in college for the first time, maybe a little tentative, facing older hitters?
Yeah, no question about it. And as advanced as Corey Collins is, his first at bat yesterday, he just looked a little bit out of sorts, and it was a freshman at bat, and
Mm-hmm.
it just is what it is. The freshmen are learning on the go, and Fernando still hasn't sunk in. We've seen some flashes of really good stuff, but he still hasn't completely relaxed and settled in, and that's why we're playing him. We're playing him to kind of get through those bumps in the road, to get those guys' heart rates to slow down and to slow the game down that we normally see when players get older in their career. When they're sophomores and juniors, the game slows down a lot. But freshmen, when they play a lot early, that process happens a little quicker. And I think you're going to continue to see that with Fernando and Corey, and hopefully Parks Harbor's back soon. He's kind of day to day right now with his wrist, and he's going to
On
swing a
that.
little bit today and getting closer. It's just a sprained wrist, but we're anticipating having him back very soon.
I would assume Ryan Webb's pitch count will get to go up. I guess he's going to pitch on Saturday.
Yeah, he's going to get the start on Saturday, and his pitch count does go up. And what we're looking at 4, probably 5 innings. What we're hoping for now. It goes
Okay.
up to last week. It was between 40 and 50 pitches, and now it's going to be more like the 55 to 65, maybe 70 pitches, somewhere in there. And then the following weekend it goes up another 10 or 15, and so yeah, we're hoping for 5, maybe get 6 if the pitch count is efficient. But yeah, he's going to be on a pretty normal start.
And who's going to go on Sunday?
Sunday's going to be Jaden. All right,
Jane
Jaden's
again.
going to get the start, and Luke Wagner's going to be kind of the jack of all trades all weekend long. If we need him on Friday, we'll use him out of the pen on Friday. We're not going to split that start on Saturday necessarily. If he doesn't pitch on Friday, then he might be the first guy out of the pen after Ryan. But we're not going to designate like we did last week. It was Ryan Webb and Luke Wagner split that game. This will be Ryan Webb's start, and Luke Wagner's just going to come out of the pen.
Just 2 more quick things. I apologize to everybody else on, on the call here. But as far as Jaden goes, I mean, be a third starter. Obviously saw something in him from the very beginning when you signed him, going back a couple of years. But what is he bringing right now? And he's still a young guy, still learning. Just what do you see from him?
Well, it's swing and miss fastball, and he got up to 94 last week, and that's why I think he's going to end up pitching. He's going to be the low to mid 90s guy, 93, 94, 95, and right now it's more 90, 92. So the velocity and the strength is going to pick up as he goes, and I think as the weather warms up, we're going to see some of that. But it's just an explosive fastball. The changeup is really good, and that's the thing. Last week his changeup wasn't very good. It was a little bit off. He was throwing a little bit too hard. We're really working hard with the breaking ball. Coach Kenny and him are working hard to get that breaking ball a little bit more consistent. We're seeing some flashes of some really good breaking balls out of him. And that's the exciting thing when, he's still a work in progress. He's still got a ways to go, but he's really talented. He's really hardworking, and he's got a high ambition. He wants to be great, and he's pushing himself as well as being pushed by Coach Kenny.
And last question, I promise, on Buddy Floyd. Not the biggest cat in the world, man. 5'7", whatever, 160 pounds. One of those players. I think you hear the description "dirtbag" used a lot. It's a very complimentary type deal. What was it about him when you were recruiting him that, hey, despite his size, this is somebody who can help our team?
Well, every time I went out to watch him play, he was 3 for 4, and he made diving plays and turns the double play as good as anybody. He can really pivot at second base, and he's just a consistent and steady guy. He's a tough kid, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. So every time I went to go watch him play, he just always performed. He played on a team with a lot of players that are playing college baseball right now. So it's a team that I went out to watch a lot. And every time I went to watch him play, the final time I decided that this is a guy that we were going to go after was I told Coach Daly and Coach Kenny, I said, okay, I'm going to go watch this guy and pretend like he's 5'11", 175, just normal size. I'm going to close my eyes to the size and just look at results. And again, I think he went 3 for 4 with a couple doubles and made every play. And I will tell you, I probably got more comments from other coaches when he committed to us. I got a lot of text messages and coaches when I saw him in person, like, man, I love that guy. I couldn't quite pull the trigger, but man, he's going to be really good. I think everybody felt the same way. And, you know, sometimes this game can be a little bit biased when it comes to size, but you can't judge that heart. You can't see that. And that's what he's got. He plays with a lot of it.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Jed, man.
Hey, Coach, just 2 questions for me. One, I want to ask you about Josh McAllister. Obviously, he filled in for Cole Tate at short last night. Just what does he bring to this team as, a guy that's played a lot of college baseball? He can play all over the infield. And also, he's got the bat to, not be a huge drop-off when he's in the lineup as well.
Yeah, no, he's played really well, and he's a hard-nosed baseball player. He plays the game very, very hard. He's always diving. He's that guy, the uniform's dirty. Him and Buddy are very similar types of players that just play really, really hard, and they're dirty, they're grimy, they're gutsy. They just do all those things to help you win. And he's got an edge to him as well. And he was a guy who was overlooked, went to junior college and didn't even know if he was going to play beyond junior college, and didn't know if he was even going to make our team when he came here. And he's worked extremely hard. And the guys respect him. He's very well liked on this team, and he brings a little bit of an edge and a chip to our team.
And 2, I wanted to ask you about base running. I know Riley King made it out at second last night. They kind of hurt a rally. Had something hurt y'all in the first series as well. Is that something you're concerned about? Is it the type of thing where you like the aggressiveness, it just doesn't work out? Sort of what's the mindset of the team through a couple weekends when it comes to that?
Well, we talk about it all the time, and we want to be aggressive, but you also have to be aggressively intelligent. So, in that situation, it's first and third and nobody out, and you got your 3-hole hitter up. And you got 3, 4, 5 coming up. It's first and third, and we end up getting thrown out at second. And right there, the right play is to go if you're safe. You can't be out right there. You can't make the first out on the bases. That's Riley just being a little bit overly aggressive. He didn't get a great jump, didn't get a terrible jump, but didn't get a great jump. Tove for them made a really good play, but you can't make that out. And he knows that, and he's a hard-nosed player, and he tried to make an aggressive play. If he's safe, it's a really good play, but you just can't be out right there. And, Connor Tate, when he got thrown out, he was rounding first base, and he was going to second as soon as the ball went to second base. The outfielder came up throwing to third, and then he reset his feet and then threw it to second. He had time to put on the brakes and get back, and he just didn't. He just continued to go, and unfortunately ended the inning at second base. So, yeah, in close games, base running mistakes are going to hurt you. They did hurt us opening day when we had we had a guy picked off, and we had a player make the third out at third on a ball in the dirt. So there's a point of being aggressive, and there's a point of being overly aggressive. And I think in all of those cases, just a little bit overly aggressive. We're going to talk about it. We have game notes today. We'll talk about it beforehand and just keep talking to them about it. But base running is something we cover a whole lot of.
Thanks, Coach.
Drew?
Hey, Coach. Just a couple of questions for me. Last night against Kennesaw State, we saw, I think, 5 pitchers that you used. So how much of that is a product of guys getting loose for the start of the season, using a lot of pitchers out of the bullpen?
Well, it was kind of planned to use a lot of bullpen yesterday. We hoped to get 4, maybe 5 out of Charlie, and we almost got 4 out of him. And then Ben Harris, we wanted him to go 2 or 3. And the plan was to maybe use 4 total guys. We ended up using 5. But in the middle of the week, if you throw, when you're playing on a Wednesday, if you throw over, 50 pitches, you're burned for the weekend. So when you've got the depth and we've got enough arms, that and we don't necessarily have a designated midweek starter right now, and we've got guys still auditioning for that, and Jonathan Cannon's coming back into the fold, so we're going to have a little bit more flexibility when we get in the middle of the week. But the plan coming in was to use a bunch of guys to give us the best chance to win, but also have all those guys available to pitch this weekend if we need them.
Yeah, and about Jonathan Cannon, what's his status coming back, or what's he looking like returning?
But he threw live to hitters on Tuesday, to our own hitters, and looked really good. He'll throw live to our hitters again tomorrow. And the reason why he's not throwing live to North Florida is we want to make sure that he's on the mound and he's comfortable. And throwing in the bullpen is a whole lot different than throwing in a game against hitters with the bat, trying to, hit line drives back at you. So it's a little bit of a transition. We want to make sure that our guys are ready to go. And so he's going to get 20 to 25 pitches tomorrow off the mound against hitters for the second time. And then his third time on the mound live right now is planned to be against Georgia Southern on Tuesday.
And last question for me. You mentioned a pitch count for Ryan Webb. Are any other pitchers on pitch count early on in the season as you get them loose?
No, I think everyone is where they need to be. And 100 is kind of the ceiling that you look at. And if you're at 100 pitches in the fourth inning, you got to get the heck out of there anyway, because you're laboring. But if you're at 100, you're entering the ninth inning and you're at 100, then you're on cruise control. You haven't pitched from the stretch very much, and you've had a pretty efficient outing. So 100 isn't equal. You can see a guy throw 110 pitches, and if it's a complete game, that's really efficient. But if he throws 110 in 4 or 5 innings, then he's really scuffling. But right now, Webby's still a little bit on a pitch count just to make sure he builds himself up, but everybody else is good to go.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
We'll finish up with Palmer.
Yeah, Coach, just 2 questions here, and both of them are about the Tates. First of all, any update on Cole and his health coming back?
Yeah, Cole's doing well. He's had 2 really good days. He was able to jog some yesterday. He'll stride out a little bit today. Hopefully hit a little bit today, and just to make sure there's no irritation there. I'd say he's questionable for the weekend. Want to make sure that he is, if not 100%, really close, because the last thing we want to do is re-aggravate that thing and we push it back a week. So we're going to be cautious with him, but he is, I think, officially questionable for the weekend, but he's doing much better.
And then in terms of Connor, it really seems like he's taken a jump as a leader on this team and at the plate as well. Is that something that you saw coming and saw in his work this offseason? And if so, what did you see?
Well, I think Connor is really grown up. He'll be the first one to tell you that. Connor and Cole, when they were freshmen, they were scattered. They were kind of all over the place, and they've just grown up. They've matured. They've learned how to get themselves ready to play. They've learned how to work efficiently to get themselves ready to play. So, proud of both those kids. They've gone through a lot. They've sat on the bench. They've watched. They've been behind All-Americans and weren't necessarily in the roles that they wanted to be in early, but they've worked themselves into it. And, now you got Connor Tate hitting in the 4-hole, playing right field every day. And he has been a threat. He's a guy that opposing teams are a little bit scared of. He's going to hit some home runs for us this year. But right now he's having a lot of really good at bats for us.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Okay. Thanks, guys.